Hey guys, me again. I just wanted to post a quick mini theory as we're going into TADC. I will stop posting stuff about it once I watch it because obviously I don't want to give any spoilers out, and we already have tickets, so I'm very, very, very excited. But I was thinking, as I was looking at color palettes, and I was realizing I don't think I ever actually said this on a theory here. And please excuse my forehead, I'm breaking out because the news is. Watch the news. Yeah, watch the news, okay? Like, and not Fox News, that's lies. Go watch Midas Touch it's here on YouTube. Go watch Midas Touch. It tells you what's going on right now. But for TADC, I'm thinking that the color palettes of CMYK and RGB more, might be a lot more important. Um, so for those of y'all that don't know, RGB it's red, green, blue. So those are the colors that computer displays use. That's like when you're looking at usually those old school computers, not really so much the LCD displays anymore, but and I'm sorry, I'm really bad with tech, so if I butcher this, please let me know in the comments, but this is my understanding of it anyway. I just make fun videos online. But my understanding of it is that RGB is what's used to make like all of the colors, as many as we can, in the digital space. CMYK are the colors that we use for printing. So like if I'm making something in Procreate, I am able to choose whether I want the palette to be RGB or if I want it to be CMYK. The RGB colors are usually like a lot muddier because they all mix together to make brown. So they're, and they use the base colors blue, yellow, and red to mix all the colors. So color theory wise, like they all mix together to make brown. CMYK, that is what is used to make print media. And it's cyan, magenta, yellow, and key. And so that's that's a newer approach than what we used to use. And those all mix together to make black, but typically you just use black because it would take so much ink for you to actually mix it to make black, and that's what key is. Key is black. So don't get confused with that. So it's cyan, magenta, yellow, black. So it's effectively the same colors, but like instead of using blue, you're using cyan. You're using like a more pastel version, and then the same with magenta. Like instead of using your typical standard red, you would use more of like a purpley red kind of looking color. So I don't entirely know what this means in the show, but I do notice that 3 of our main characters are CMYK colored and 3 of our main characters are RGB colored. So to me, that immediately differentiates the 2 characters between, in my head, I'm going, okay, this is a show about computers and AI, all this stuff. 3 of these characters are AI and 3 are human. That's just where my brain goes. Don't know if that's right or not. But in thinking that, my thought is that the characters might be split when they get into this prison. Because I do think this is a prison, that like a physical, literal prison that they're in. I think effectively this was kind of like Project Blue Book. Project Blue Book, is that the right one? I've read way too many articles on all these. Paperclip, not Blue Book. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind. This would be like Project Paperclip, where potentially the government took people that were working on a project and used them rather than making them be war criminals. I don't know how much y'all know about history, but look it up right now. Not right now, but like history is repeating itself. It's rhyming currently. We need to watch the news. But Uh, with that, what I'm thinking is I'm thinking that maybe Kinger and Scratch were working, and I don't know that anyway. I don't think Queenie's based on this. She would be an AI because she's red. Um, but I think Kinger and Scratch were maybe working on something that, and he's weird because he's yellow, but I think they were working on something that got too big for them. And then effectively, the government screwed him over and was just like, oh, thank you for making this prison for us. Here, you're in it now. And I think that's why Scratch is like so when he realizes where he is, because I don't think there's any getting out, and he knows it. I think potentially the characters are split into, the reason that I'm thinking that is that there are just a lot of, for a while I was thinking that they might all be one character, and I can do a quick little theory on how I think that would work. But I also think that there's a possibility that they effectively take the good qualities of a person, quote unquote. You can't really do that. But like I think that they separate maybe the good from the bad. And they're like, this is your brain when it's like not been like subjected to depravity and stuff. And this is your brain when it's not, when it's just you. And I don't exactly know, but in that, the way I would see that working is I would see Pomni being the duplicate or the other side of the coin of Kinger. I would see Ragatha being the other side of the coin for Jax, which would also be why he hates her so much. And then I would see Orbsman being the other side of the coin for Zubul. I know I'm not saying Gangle. I'm not saying Gangle here. I'm specifically not saying Gangle because I really do think that Jax replaced Gangle with I think Jax replaced Orbsman with Gangle. But I think that is why Zubul is separated out in, there's a desk mat that came out that I wanted to buy and I didn't buy. I should buy it. But because I really want to like look a little closer at it. But like in the desk mat you can see clearly Kane's in like I think one of the bottom corners, I believe. And he has both of his eyes are blue, so Jeffrey's missing. And all of the characters are making like a Matryoshka doll kind of head, where Kane's hands are the ones that are finally like they're the final layer of the doll, like closing everybody together. And Zubul's head is like off to the side. Another thing that I noted was that, and this might just be design because of the way Gangle's mask is more 2D than 3-dimensional like the rest of the cast, but everybody else in the cast, you can see diamonds inside of their head, which looks like the polygons when you're like designing something in like if I was playing around with Poser 3D, like not Poser, oh my gosh, if I was playing around with Nomad Sculpt, it creates all of these little polygons like that look like that. And then you can export it to 3D printing. Or games like this, or shows. But so I'm thinking that Zubul is outside of that because of them, whatever having happened to their doppelganger within the circus. I don't know what that's going to mean, but that's just like my current interpretation. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have a good one.